Call the Killam School Building Committee meeting of March 16th to order. We'll start with a roll call attendance. I think Sean Brandt is not here tonight. John Coote?
Yes.
Chris Haley?
I'm here, Pat, but if Josh can move the camera down a little bit, it's hard to see the room. It's like at the ceiling. So on Zoom anyway, but I'm here, Pat. Thank you.
Thank you. Kirk McCormick?
Here.
Ed Ross? Ed was traveling and I know he was gonna have trouble making it, so I don't think he's here. Greg Stepler?
Here.
Nancy Toomey?
Here.
Carla Nazaro is not here, which is why I am here, and Pat Tompkins is here. Moving on, moving on to public comment. If there's any public comment? Any online?
No.
Okay.
David Dallaire, I'm here.
Hey, David, thank you. Next, the liaison reports. Are there any liaison reports tonight?
Pat, I think Jenny may have an introduction, maybe liaison report would be the good.
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce you all to my colleague, David Harris, who's gonna be joining he's been on the Killam team, but he's gonna be a more regular presence, and he's gonna be really leading up the construction administration effort in our office. David is a very experienced architect and a deep well of knowledge, and I think everyone will love working with him.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Yes, I do look forward. I know you might have met me in the past, at the beginning of the project, so that was great. But yes, we're really entering an exciting phase here where we're taking all of our months of efforts and documentation and design and working with the contracting team to actually make it into a reality. So this is incredibly exciting, and I can't wait to work with all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I've worked quite a bit with David, and we're lucky to have him on the team. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it.
And you've been on so much stuff. I didn't even think it was something new. You've been hiding in the background.
It's
doing
true.
stuff.
I've been lurking for a while.
We've been tapping his expertise. Also, I want to say I'm not going anywhere. I'll be around too.
All right.
Of course.
I
Okay, the next item on the agenda, we have at the beginning of the project, we submitted the KSBC, the building committee member list to the MSBA. We've had a couple of changes, and we needed to send an updated list to the MSBA. The changes that we're making are to Jane will be replacing Matt and as obviously as the town manager role, and Carla is going to remain as the chair and remain as the school committee appointee, but she's not running. Everyone probably knows she's not running for re-election, so she won't be a member of the school committee. So we were just going to note that on the report. And that's something that we're required to send to the MSBA. So I think we need a vote of the committee to approve that and send it in. So if anyone has any questions on that, or anyone wants to make a motion.
Being recorded. Move to make the changes to the MSB report indicating that Carla remains as school committee rep, although not on the school committee, and Jane Wellman is now town manager.
Acting town manager.
Acting town
Just for the
manager,
record.
just for the record, acting town manager.
You have a second?
I second that.
Any discussion, any questions? Okay, we'll go to the vote. John Coote,
Yes.
Chris Haley. We'll come back to Chris. Kirk
Sorry,
McCormick?
yes. Yeah.
Kirk McCormick.
Yes.
Did Ed Ross?
Yes, it was here.
He's on. Ed Ross?
I don't see Ed online.
Okay. And Greg Stepler was not?
Greg.
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Maybe it was Greg, not Ed.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes. Move on to item 5. Collier's financial review. I'll turn it over to Justin. Got all kinds of technical difficulties tonight.
We have microphones. I can get them for you. We have found that there is better reception for the folks at home and on your Zoom call without the microphones. We have put in an order to our vendor to come fix that problem. So if you feel like we should get the microphones, I shall get them.
If-
I'm okay, I just,
Yeah.
we didn't see them if it's fine.
The current status is that we think it's better without them. We'll
then
roll
we'll go with
without them.
that.
The microphone in that panel right there.
It's up there. All right.
Yeah,
I was
that's
gonna
what's
say,
picking you up.
okay. I don't have to unmute.
And it picks up everything.
Okay, good.
All right, so we have. Sorry, let's zoom in a little bit. All right, we still have a construction budget of $101,521,394. We have, a total expenditures to date for, architectural and engineering of $5,605,421, with the remaining balance of $5,289,579. For administrative costs, we have a bill to date of $2,376,044 and a remaining balance of $6,077,704. No changes to the FF&E budget. And we have a total expended to date of $7,981,465 with a remaining budget of $116,113,677.
And of course, we're gonna be under budget, right?
We're gonna be under budget and on time.
That's right.
That's the slogan of the job.
That is,
That's how we roll.
I'm just gonna use my directional pad because my mouse is a little sensitive. I'm probably gonna make everyone sick.
All good.
Okay. Jeez. Time for a new mouse. All right, we have a few commitments. We have one that wasn't in the package. We were able to track it down and kind of resolve a little bit of confusion on this last GNEP pay application. So this value, I believe, is for some reimbursables. So this would be the commitment, a change order of $2,093. I'll show you the change order right in here. I don't know if Joe is on, but looks like this is for a survey, Hancock Survey Associates and
Their market.
in their markup, yeah. All right. Then we have Daily Times Chronicle, which is the advertisement for when we submitted the ads for the RFQ for requests for qualifications for subcontractors and general contractors. And then we have David's actual contract in hand to vote on as well. Do you want to vote on the commitments now?
Should we do that now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, move to approve payment of GNAP invoice number 682.29-R2 for,
oh,
nope, wrong one.
this is the commitment.
commitments.
First, we had to do the commitment.
Okay, sorry.
It's like
I get it. Yeah, I know. Okay, so
Contract.
It's like getting married.
Okay, I
First
got
there's the
it.
commitment.
move to approve the GNAP commitment for $2,093. Right?
Yep.
Second.
Any further discussion? I'll go to the vote. John Coot,
Yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes, motion passes.
Move to accept the commitment to Daily Times Chronicle for $190.94.
Second.
Any discussion? Vote John Coot,
Yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes.
Move to accept the commitment for the facilities clerk, David Delaire, the amount of $406,000.
Second.
Any discussion?
This is a reminder that's for the full term of the contract.
Yeah, no, it says Reading clerk salary. It's not, it's for the entire duration.
It's for the entire duration.
John Coot,
Yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes. Move on to the invoices.
Yep. We do have a couple of budget adjustments for the GNAP contract amendment. This is for that change order, the $2,093 from soft cost contingencies. And then all right, we have so we have the one invoice from GNAP for $2,093. We have LBA's invoice. Wrote it down. I lost where I wrote it down. It's a combined value of $629,343, all broken out into the individual cost codes for the MSBA. Then we also have two invoices for Collier's project leaders, one being $63,340 and $42,122. And then we have the Daily Times Chronicle, which is the newspaper advertisement for $190.94.
Did we, trying to, my phone is transcribing everything that's being said here. Trying to shut that off. Did we develop the, so what do we decide to call it? The Financial Commitments Working Group?
I thought we certainly have one for the permanent building.
Yeah.
Do we have
And
one for?
Kirk was one of
Yes.
them.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
sorry to interrupt, Pat. Yeah, we do have that. I reviewed all of these and everything seems fine to me. So, but yeah, we do have that working group in place.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, give the working group an opportunity to do their job and tell us that they looked at the stuff and it was all good.
I appreciate that. Yeah, everything looks good.
It's because they keep agreeing with it, so you know, once they say no, then their presence will become obvious, yes.
Yeah,
Kirk's reached out to me a couple times directly in previous meetings.
yeah.
If you see them come through, go back and forth between them.
Okay, as far as a vote, do we have the amount, so we could lump all of like LBAs and,
I have LBA's large amount.
yeah, you've got that, so we can do them, so we don't have to do all of those individually.
No, we can do LBA as one.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, move to accept payment for LBA's invoice number 23289 in the amount of $629,343.05.
Second that.
Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, go to the vote. John Coot,
Yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes.
Move to accept and pay the invoice for Colliers, number 0001143662 in the amount of $63,340.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, John Coot,
Yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes.
Move to accept and pay Colliers invoice number 0001153042 in the amount of $42,122.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, John Coot,
Yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes.
Move to accept the invoice and pay GNAP invoice number 682.29-R2 for $2,093.
Second.
Any discussion? Go to the vote. John Coot,
Yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes.
Move to accept and approve payment for the Daily Times Chronicle invoice number 260201 for $190.94.
I second,
Any discussion? John Coot,
yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes. That's all of them?
That's it. That I have.
All right, so that brings the total spent to date, $7,981,465.37.
This is a very boring meeting so far. We're all in agreement. I'll have to say something outrageous.
I believe you can do it.
I think, so, yeah. I'll try hard.
We like boring. Justin, you want to move on and schedule?
A
Or do we have more?
little bit more, a couple more things. I'll try to make it exciting.
No, no need.
So we have a couple of project forecasted costs here. I'm not sure where we're gonna land with the church parking lot. That's the $11,900 is for the church parking. And then we have forecasted a cost with the gym floor. We had a discussion earlier last week about possibly adding a humidification system to the gym to prevent any sort of issues with the wood floors. So we're just carrying a line item there in case we do decide to move forward with that or not. We have forecast here for the tax consultant. We met with a tax consultant last week. Got some good information from them. I believe we're going to be voting on this value to have it approved. We don't have a contract with them in hand yet, but this is an initial value they gave that they feel they won't exceed as far as what they're going to provide for us as services. And then the next line item here is forecasted PCO costs. We're not in construction yet, so that's $0. So-
Just real quick.
Sure.
So just real quick on the parking, I think at this point, we're gonna be meeting with Lindsay, hopefully in the next week or so to kind of try to figure out alternatives. We're not gonna say that the church parking is off the table, but we're looking for alternatives as backup plans, if you will. So we're gonna be working through those. So one option might be to just try and fit everybody on site, whether it's with some blocking in of people or parking, attendant or something like that. Another option might be with a shuttle of some sort or things of that nature. So we've just got to look at those options, but the first option would be to keep them on site if at all possible, because that's going to be the most cost effective option, I think, for everybody. And then on the gym floor, I think the 50 was approximately the value we thought for the humidification, but it was also more if we don't go with it, because I think that's where we're leaning to not go with it. If you had issues with the gym floor down the line, this would be some money set aside within the project that if in the first year you had to come out and redo the polyurethane or something like that, that you had some funds available to cover for that.
Yeah.
And just so everybody understands, in the summertime, it gets really humid and our heating and cooling system can take that humidity out of the air. In the wintertime, it gets really dry and the system is heating, it doesn't have humidification, and humidification can come with its own pitfalls. And I think we kind of talked about it as a group and feel in general, there's enough humidification between the people in the room and things like that. Everybody gives off a little bit of, humidification every time you talk or things like that. And that along with just the general potential pitfalls with humidification, we decided we didn't want to go that way.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the tax consultant, like I said, I think we're looking to potentially ask. So the first two, there's no vote needed. We're just showing you, those are forecasts, those are risks that we've identified. And to kind of cover those risks, we've tried to put a dollar value in there. The other one, I think we're trying to move forward with the tax consultant to, so we're looking to get a support as a not to exceed value of 100,000 that hopefully we can come back to you at the next meeting and say, the town has been able to issue a contract for X dollars. And again, it might be the 100,000, it might be something less. I have a feeling no matter what it is, it's going to be kind of like our contract where there's a value, but they're billing on a time and materials times their labor rates to get you your invoicing.
Yeah. Just to add a little bit on to all these items, the parking, and Carl has been with town staff, been kind of leading the negotiations or discussions with the church. And it's certainly not off the table. It's very difficult. It's quite a ways out there, and it's very difficult for the archdiocese to basically lock in and make commitments. So it's definitely not off the table. It's still, I think,
Yeah, it's not off the table, but they're talking about what they're gonna do with these two properties. So Christ the King Parish has two churches, and
Yeah.
they're talking about what they wanna do, and every time we talk to them, they're like, we wanna give you an answer, but we're waiting for, the discernment committee to give us information, or waiting for, now it's the archdiocese to give us some
Yeah.
information, so we're willing to pay them and, work really well with our neighbors, but they're just, we are in communication with them, but they're just,
it's just hard
we're
to
not
get,
sure.
it's hard to get a commitment from them. So
We
we're
aren't
looking,
getting one, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, and we probably won't for a little while, but it doesn't mean.
and we're not
that-
getting a no either, so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's on the table.
So
just
we're
need to
looking,
back
so we're
up.
looking at other options. And then you covered the gym floor. And yeah, so I think the tax consultant, if we can get a vote for not to exceed
Yep.
amount, basically we'd be approving and authorizing town staff to negotiate and enter into a contract not to exceed with that tax consultant, right?
So moved for $100,000 not to exceed.
Okay.
Yeah. What are the other options on the parking, Jane? I mean, off-site options, I
Can we
mean.
get through the motion?
Let's get the
Oh,
second.
sorry, was there a motion?
Yeah, I moved
Oh,
for the
okay.
tax
We'll
consultant.
come back to the
Oh, okay.
parking lot. Can I get a second?
So you moved to the tax consultant.
Yeah, tax consultant not to exceed 100,000 for the town to negotiate.
Yeah.
Contract.
Second.
Okay. Anyone have any questions or any discussion on that? John, you good? All right. We'll go to the vote. John Coot,
Yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey.
Yes,
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes. John, you had some thoughts on the comments on the church parking lot?
Well, I just wondered, apart from on-site, what are the options in terms of Burbank there or?
I don't think Burbank's an option right now. So our parking agreement with them is relative to pickleball and recal, does not incorporate other parking. So that's not a conversation we've had, and that's a lot more cars. So we could broach that conversation, but I'd like to have one thing done before we start something else. And we would be paying for these spots as well. Secondly, we have parking at Vine Street that's not very much used. We were going to give that to Austin Prep for some overflow parking for their students. But they didn't have an appetite to pursue that, so we could have people park down there and run a shuttle. Another option is to stack cars on site and have a parking attendant help move cars around. And so the market-
This
there's
is
something that Mike
this is
can do.
parking for the teachers
Staff.
and for the construction people.
Just teachers. The contractor will be responsible for their own parking,
Yeah,
so.
but it's good to say they're responsible, but they've got to park somewhere. We've got to tell them in the contract documents, you've got to park on site, but it's a cramped site once you start putting foundations in. And we've got to make sure that they have the option for parking somewhere.
Mhm.
I think we have to think about.
Well, I expect that during the peak of construction, if we have 100 workers a day, they're not gonna be parking on site. I have a feeling that they're gonna have to find alternative parking now. They might reach out to the church and see if there's some spots that they could get from them. They might reach out to other local establishments, or they might find an empty lot and have to have a bus or something like that. I have seen that happen before. It's not ideal, but we just don't have enough space on site that we can say confidently that the contractor is gonna be able to have 100 people a day all parking on the job site.
I think our approach needs to be, first, we have to solve the teacher parking.
Exactly.
And in our process of solving the teacher parking, if we can put some options out there for the contractor that can alleviate that situation, but I don't know that we'll get there between now and the time we did the job. We won't.
Contractor parking is a cost item. I mean, that's something the contractor is gonna build into the bid. And I think, you know, we need to think about, that as well, not just teacher parking. Because if they've got to bus people in, that's money, that's our money that they'll be spending.
That's true.
I think if you go back, that's, you know, when we first started this project, we actually looked to an alternative to moving the students off the site, you know, to some temporary location
Swing space.
so that we could actually demo the school early and allow the contractor full reign of the site, but we just, it wasn't feasible for us to be able to do that, so we understood that there was going to be some costs, and to your point, certainly your money, but it is part of the overall package that we've got.
That's right.
Working forward.
Okay, any,
You're saying things I've thought of, John. I'm right with you. You're you know, hitting the nail on the head for sure.
Okay.
So,
okay, do we have anything else under the commitments?
Just the cash flow. Maybe.
That was just, yeah, just for the rest of the budget. We just have cash flow to review.
Under budget.
that's right.
Yep, so we have, we're right in line with where our estimated and our actuals are pretty close. We're definitely not going over our estimated encumbrance versus encumbered to date. This graph shows a little better. We'll start trending. God, I'm so sorry with that mouse. We'll start trending upward as we get contractors on board come May, June timeline. And that's it. Anyone have any questions on project budget? Okay.
Okay.
I'll just say it's gonna start going up pretty soon.
Yeah.
The cash flow.
Mhm.
Yeah. Move on
Have you
to,
sent, I'm sorry, have you sent the most recent cash flows to Sharon, to the CFO?
I believe we've sent it over to her, yep.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
okay, appreciate your commentary. So we're gonna move on to item 6, schedule review.
Sure. So right now we're working our way, the 90%, I'm sorry, the final bid documents will be completed by the 25th, I think we discussed earlier. So LBA will be finalizing the documents later this week, and we'll be providing to the building committee to approve those documents, as well as a approved list of qualified contractors and general contractors for our next meeting that's on the 30th. We'll be submitting it to the MSBA the following day, that package. And just to highlight some dates that are coming down the line. Once we've approved the final bid documents, we'll issue those on the street to have our qualified contractors and subcontractors bid on that project. Once we have bids in hand, and we'll be awarding contract come the end of May.
Justin, maybe just real quick on the prequal.
Yep, I was just gonna touch on that.
All right, good.
So right now, we're working with a pre-qual committee. Right now, our team and LBA's team are currently reviewing all the submissions that we've received and going through and ranking all the contractors and subcontractors accordingly. We only got one proposal from elevator contractors, so we've reissued that. That's currently out right now. So next week and the week the following that, we're gonna have meetings with the qualification committee where we'll go through all of the submissions and the scoring and create the finalized list of each one who makes it into the cut, so to speak. Then on the 30th, we'll bring that list to the building committee meeting for a vote for approval.
And just in general, and that I think everybody may have been on the email, but we had almost 150 applicants submit.
Yeah.
Elevator aside, we had, I think, at least 5 or 6 for just about every other trade. I think some of them had as many as a dozen.
Yeah.
So I think that that's
A lot of
really,
interest.
really good interest. I think the elevator is not a surprise to everybody in the industry. My expectation is that we might only get one again, in which case then it would be assigned as a non-pre-qualified filed sub bid. And we would potentially get a bid on that and then have to evaluate from there. So there's a process you have to go through with that, and most projects go through that process.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but,
Yeah, that was very encouraging.
Yeah.
The number of submissions from GCs and subcontractors.
and I think there's a meeting of the pre-qual committee this week. There's another meeting of it next week. And then we'll be coming back to hopefully get an official thumbs up on the full pre-qualified list of vendors. Just in general, in my experience, there might be 1 or 2 that get disqualified because of various reasons. Sometimes it's they didn't submit the right documentation or things like that. One of the big ones is their DCAM certifications, and sometimes they submit the wrong version or an outdated version. And we do have the ability, based off of the IG's interpretation, that we can ask if they have an outdated one. Do you have an updated one? Things like
Yeah.
that. So we can. That's part of what we're going through right now. So the LBA team and the college team are doing a lot of legwork behind the scenes to get the scoring done, to evaluate the reference checks and the credit reference checks as well. And we'll hopefully have 149 or 150 approved contractors to you in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Quick question, as we're coming down the stretch on the bid documents, can Colliers and LBA talk to us a little bit about the quality control for the documents, little things? Massachusetts Public Work is very unique in that we take responsibility for certain elements of scope between trades, where in most cases, the building is the building and the general contractor owns everything. If there's a discrepancy between, let's say, one of the filed subbidders and a non-filed subbidder, we can be, even though it's something you may consider clearly shown in the documents, if it's, not in one of those sections. So just tell us, we've also got general conditions. Those filed subbidders all have to adhere to the general conditions. And, oftentimes I see things where the electrical spec will say that the general contractor has to pay for the temp power, and then the Division 1 spec will say that the electrician is. So maybe you guys can talk to us a little bit about the quality control you're doing with these documents. I consider those things to be like unforced errors.
Yeah.
If we're putting together 120,000 square foot, pushing $100 million project, and as we get through the process, there will be things that are missed because everything is being done by humans. And people have got to understand that's partially why we have contingency. But things like the things I just described that I see all the time on bid documents, kind of like unforced errors. So what are you guys doing to make sure we don't have any or as few as possible unforced errors?
So I can maybe talk about what we've been doing up to date, maybe.
Yeah.
So at each level, every time we had schematic design development, 60%, 90%. The documents have not only gone to estimators, but LBA has done an internal quality control on that, and we have also looked at it. And actually, Jenny was just talking to us earlier today that we had given them comments at 90%. They had given us comments back, and we didn't close the loop. Like of 100 comments, 90 of them are closed, but there's still 10 that are, maybe not what we asked. Maybe they didn't just say yes, they said yes, but. So we got to follow back on that. So we're going to continue to work through that. We also have a third-party code review that's been done, and we're working through that right now. So those comments have been provided to the design team. They're working through those comments to get those back to us right now. We'll have a meeting with the third-party code consultant. We're also in the process of setting up a meeting with the building inspector. We're hoping to do that this month and get them the 100% bid documents, understanding that there may be addendums and things like that prior to what they would call a permit set, but we want to give that to them so that they can get into it and the fire department can get into it, things of that nature. So we're really asking for everybody to take a look at it, just like you said, like, everybody has their own experiences and what they've done and what they will, hopefully will never see again. Like that happened to me once, I'm not gonna have it happen to me again. And as our site manager gets on, as our team gets more ramped up into the construction phase, that's part of our review as well. So it's again, kind of, everybody on board, all doing that, pushing towards that. And if anybody sees anything or see something, say something, kind of like at the airport, right? But yeah, I think that's what we are doing.
Yeah.
And Jenny,
I would say much the same that there's many different levels of review. So we have our internal, Collier's reviews our documents, MSBA reviews our documents, the commissioning agent, and the third party.
missed the commission.
There's 5 different professional groups that have taken a really close look at our drawings. And like Mike said, different people look at different things and different people catch different things. So like you said, Pat, it's guaranteed to not be perfect.
Yep.
But I do think we've done a thorough process.
Excellent.
We also plumb the depths of our lessons learned. Past projects, just say, hey, remember this one? And
Yeah,
kind of bring that forward.
yeah. I'm sure you bring a lot of that to the table.
One thing I say to my team all the time, I always say to my team, I know we're gonna make-
David's been doing CA on schools since 2008 anyway. Is
Yeah.
that a fair statement, David?
That sounds about right.
We worked on a school in Concord in 2008,
Yeah, that's right.
so there's a lot of
I'm sure there was a
experience
couple of jobs before that too.
there. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, all right, I lost my, are we still on schedule or is that everything?
So I think that's it with schedule.
Minutes.
Does anyone have any questions on the schedule? Is there anything, I mean, you kind of covered everything coming up. Josh?
We skipped item 4, the 90% MSBA submission on the agenda. I'm not sure if that requires a vote.
Oh, okay.
Just wanna,
So
before we go.
the MSBA submission comments, these are the, we submitted the 90% submission of 90% documents to the MSBA. They provide comments, and then this is to submit our comments in response to their comments.
So we have to respond within 14 days. So they send the comments over. And the design team is going through their portion of it. We're going through our portion. And if there's anything we need from the district, our team will be reaching out to you folks to get any information so we can that.
And the document that's in our package is the MSBA's comments, not the response.
I don't think we've got the response
Right.
totally done yet. but
Okay.
I think we're still working.
Okay. And you don't need a vote from the committee to submit that response.
No.
Okay,
It's just part of the,
Routine.
part of the process.
okay. Thank you.
Great question, Josh.
Thank you.
Okay, and no one has any questions on schedule, we can move on to approval of the prior meeting minutes.
Move to accept the meeting minutes as submitted for February 9th, 2026.
Second,
There you go.
Does anyone have any questions or comments, corrections to the minutes? Going once, twice. I'll go to the vote. John Coop,
yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes. Next item, just the future meeting dates. So we've got the meeting coming up on the 30th, and then our April meeting will be on the 20th. What's our projected, I know you covered this, and I'm just asking you to repeat something you already said. What's our projected date that the bid docs are on the street, and what's our projected bid date?
Let me just make sure I give you the exact correct information.
So while he's doing that, just a quick thought on the next meeting, the 30th. I think the primary point of business will be just approval of the pre-qual
Mhm.
list. So I think we were questioning if you want to do that more remote or if you still want to have an in-person or a hybrid, just because we figured it's going to be probably just, I don't know, there's nothing else really from the design team that we're planning on presenting that meeting really, right? So it's really, I think it's really.
That's an excellent point. I would lean towards, can you do 100% virtual still?
Meetings?
Yeah, for a public meeting? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you just have to allow public comment and all of that stuff.
Okay, so maybe we'll make that final decision the
Yeah.
week before at the XLT meeting, but if there's nothing on the agenda except, public comment and that vote, we'll probably do it remote.
So the bid documents will be published online on April 7th. Then we'll have filed sub bids due on May 6th, and then general contractor bids due on May 19th. And then
Okay.
we issue award on May 22nd.
So we'll have our May meeting will be timed for a vote.
And just so
Okay.
everybody knows, I think we are gonna plan a site walk for the contractors. I think it's that Friday, the 17th, I think. So a couple weeks after the documents are on the street, but still 3 or 4 weeks even before the final submitters, so that if they have questions, we can get them asked and answered and not have to delay bids or anything like that.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Greg has his hand raised. Greg?
Greg?
Yeah, Pat, should the next, for the next meetings, 3:30, should that be 4:20 as opposed to 4:21?
The 20th is a holiday, is that correct?
That is Patriots Day.
Patriots Day.
It's on my agenda, it's 4:20. Am I looking at an old agenda?
You are. It's 4:21.
So it's 4:21 because of the apparently Patriots Day. Any of you going to the Red Sox game?
I am.
Or
I'm
the,
going that game.
yeah. She won't be in any state to be at a building committee.
I don't know
meeting
what
that
you're
day.
implying, Mr. Chairman. Except
You're
that
running the
the
marathon.
Red Sox will be great. I will not be running the marathon this year. And no promises about next year.
So Greg, I think that was intended. I don't know if that creates a problem. Do you know if that's a conflict with like a select board meeting?
It
'Cause
sure is.
It is.
It is?
It sure is.
So
Okay.
select board would be in here, we would be next door neighbors.
Okay.
Although it's listed as the select board meeting. Hold on a second. I know Mr. Haley is on the call.
His hand is raised.
There it is, because I don't think we
All right,
have that
Chris.
scheduled right now.
Yeah, I was going to say my streak of attending every single meeting for the last 5 years is not being lost on a Killam school building joint meeting. So that's whatever's getting moved. So,
Well, because we were
Well-
talking this morning about the 14th, remember?
correct.
Anyway, yeah, we'll talk offline.
So we'll
Thanks.
figure out when that meeting is. Right now, it's on the agenda for 4:21, but that might change. Does anyone know when the recal meeting is? Recal meeting would be sooner, so we could go to the 22nd. Cause recal's like the 8th maybe?
Calendar.
It's
7/19 for general contractor.
March 31st.
It's the 1st. It's March 1st, April 1st.
Yeah, April 1st.
But isn't that Passover? I thought we moved it because it was
So
Passover.
the April one is.
It might be incorrect in my calendar.
Yeah, I have it
it
too,
is.
but maybe.
It's the
yeah.
May
I think we moved
Correct.
it because it was Passover.
I'll confirm that with the OPM.
So let's say that right now, the meeting is penciled in for the 21st, but it's likely to move. We'll do everything we can to make sure everyone has as much notice as possible. And if there's any, if anyone definitely has a conflict other than Chris that we know about, on the 21st, just ping Carla and I and Josh. Mostly Josh. Okay. Anyone have anything else? Any agenda items for the next meeting? Or other new business? I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn?
Second?
John Coot,
Yes.
Chris Haley,
Yes.
Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Greg Stepler,
Yes.
Nancy Toomey,
Yes.
Pat Tompkins, yes. Motion passes.
Buddy.